What's the deal, pickles? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. I'm Kia Sims, and today we are back with another big mod overview video, okay? And this time around, I will be showing you guys 60 plus overrides that I personally use in my game, okay? And y'all already know I have a terrible habit of making these big mod videos whenever we get a huge update for the game. So please be mindful if your game is updated and you're downloading any of these mods right after the Sims 4 Life in Death patch that just dropped today, to check mod creators' websites for updates and be patient if any mods are broken, okay? I personally haven't updated my game, so all these mods are still currently working to my knowledge and in my game, but yeah, just be mindful. But of course, before we get into the nitty-gritty, y'all know we have to give our huge shout out to Instant Gaming, which is a great game retail website where you can purchase hundreds of games for discounted prices. I was constantly promoting it even before they sponsored the channel, but they have tons of popular game titles available on their website for purchase, plus a ton of games available for pre-order, including the brand new Sims 4 Life in Death pack that is dropping in just 7 days, which they already have for a whopping 28% off right now, okay? So if cheap games and discounts is something that you're interested in, don't forget to use the link in my bio to help support me and the channel. I do earn a small commission off of purchases using my link, so I would appreciate it greatly. And as always, don't forget to enter the monthly giveaway they are hosting on the channel for a chance to win any game of your choice off their website. The link for that is in the description as always. And without further ado, let's get back into the video. But yes, basically, if you don't know what an override is, it's basically a type of mod that replaces something in the game, like the name suggests, override or replacement. And so we're just going to go through a couple of categories, and some of these mods I will actually be showcasing in game, and some of these mods we will just be looking at the mod website. And so our first category is startup mods, and mod number 1 is a screen override. It is the pink Aura opening screen override by Irene Noor, which is a super cute visual mod that just replaces the original blue screen that normally shows up on the opening screen with this super cute pink one. And they have tons of other options on their website if, you know, the pink aura isn't up your vibe, you know. Number 2 is this Festival of Ghosts loading screen by Wotansiba. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that, which, you know, I just think is super cute, and I have downloaded right now because, you know, it's October and 'tis the season. Number 3, you may not actually be able to see with my current loading screen, so I'll try to remember to take it out, but it's a loading screen tips override by me, Kia Sims, which replaces the little Sims 4 tips with cute little quotes, and this is available on my Patreon for free. Number 4 is the dynamic refreshed main menu by Simatically, and not only does this loading screen get rid of all the ads and makes the Sims 4 feel more like a game instead of an advertisement board, but this background also automatically changes based on the time of day that you're playing The Sims. So it's really cool. It's really cool to see like happen. Number 5, I'm sure y'all have already seen at this point, but it's the Rainy Hearts font override, and it is by me again. It just replaces the normal in-game font to this cute kind of pixely one. It was originally something I made for myself, but I decided to upload it for anyone else who may be interested in it, and you can once again find that on my Patreon for free. Jumping around now, we're gonna get into Create a Sim mods, and so number 6 is my current cast background, which is the fixated soft pink background recolor by Dumb Baby. Number 7 is the Stand Still and Cast override by Northern Siberia Winds, which is available for all ages and just has the Sims stand in a much cuter pose than the default little, you know, stance. Number 8 is pretty well known, but it is Cast Columns mod by Weirbeso, which overrides the amount of columns we have in Create a Sim from the default, I think 2 or 3, and you can now have up to 5 or 6. So I have the 5 version, but I did try the 6 version and I did like it. And finally, number 9 is these gallery pose overrides by YunSims, which replaces your household gallery pictures that appear when you go to save your Sims. Moving on, we're going to jump into build mode overrides. And so there's only 2. They're both by Fixated, but number 10 is Fixated's build by pencil override, which not gonna lie, I'll probably never take this out of my game because it is so freaking cute. And number 11, which is Fixated's build by gizmo override, and I have it in the color soft pink, which replaces this little adjuster that you see when adjusting rooms in The Sims 4. And it comes in a ton of different colors, so you definitely have options again, you know, if the pink isn't your vibe. Our next category is UI overrides, and for number 12, y'all have probably already noticed it at this point, but it's the Pastel UI mod, again by Fixated. This is actually a new mod and it's still in beta, so not everything has been replaced in game yet, but I loved this tone of pink. It was super cute to me, so I've been using this one ever since it released, and I will probably continue to use it as it receives updates. Number 13 is this cute little ice cream Plum Bob override by Zhao Baolo. I'm sure I butchered that and I'm so sorry, but it's a very cute Plum Bob override that replaces the original green Plum Bob. Number 14 is the UI poses override by Black Dot, which changes how your Sims look over here in the bottom left corner and replaces the original poses with some new custom ones. And number 15 is a very similar mod, but for kids, it's the children's UI poses override by NV Games, and it does the exact same thing but for the kiddos, and I think it focuses more on their expressions. Finally, moving on, we're going to talk about our in-game overrides, okay? And number 16 is a simpler one, but it's the Better Basketball override by Coco Games, which just improves the texture and design of the default basketball the Sims use when doing things like playing basketball or, you know, anything else that involves a basketball. Number 17 is the shoe removal animation override by the Pancake One, which overrides the Snowy Escape shoe sign animation to one where it looks like the Sims are actually taking off their shoes inside. Number 18, I've mentioned a million times before, but it's the Black TV replacements by Alexis Ariel, which y'all know I love, not only for the channel replacements it provides, but also for the little commercials it has in between. Number 19 is another mod that does something similar. It's by Coco Games, and it's the reality dating show override, which replaces the new channel we got with Lovestruck to play Love Island so that your Sims can be caught up on the tea, you know? Okay? Number 20 is again TV related, but this time it's for the movies that came with the movie hangout pack, and it's Midnight Hearts movie overrides. They have a ton of options you can select from, but I like using all of these mods together just so that I can make sure the TV channels are completely redone. Number 21 is TV related again, but it's the Watching TV override by Simkatu, which changes the sitting animation your Sims do while watching TV. Why does the Sim literally look like my dad, you know, every day after work? Number 22 is another animation override, and it's by Beverly Alit Sims. It replaces the animation Sims use when taking naps on the bed, sofa, and love seats. It looks a little crazy here because, you know, he's not on the right side of the couch, but when done right, it's a very nice animation. Number 23 is a video game override, and it's by Bikini Sims. It's called the PS2 Games Overrides, which changes the video games to more classic titles. And number 24 is the Nintendo Switch game controller replacement by Around Sims 4, which changes the default controller the Sims use when playing video games to be a Nintendo Switch. Moving on to mod number 25, we have the iPhone 12 override by Nuri Batzel, which of course changes the big old default blocky phone that the Sims use to be an iPhone 12. Number 26 is the phone app overrides by Coco Games, which changes a few of the icons on the phone to be more realistic, giving you options like Lyft, Gmail, YouTube, etc. if you prefer a little more realism in your game. Speaking of realism, we have number 27, which is another phone app override, but it's the Wells Fargo Bank override by Taylor, which requires the SMB Bank and Bills mod, and it basically replaces everything that says Sims National Bank to say Wells Fargo, as well as the as well as the phone icon, which again I like for more realism. Number 28 is by Coco Games, and it's the phone wallpapers override, which adds more phone backgrounds for your Sims to choose from and make their background. Number 29 and 30 are both by Dear Kim, but they are the selfie overrides. And so 29 is the single Sim photo replacement, which replaces the poses Sims use when taking pictures by themselves, and 30, which replaces the pose Sims use when taking pictures with another Sim. Next is number 31, which is the bouquet override by Complex Sims, which replaces the look of the gifted roses your Sims can give and receive. Number 32 is a cleaning override, and it's GIGABYTE's Samsung Jet Vacuum Override, which changes the default mop Sims use when mopping up puddles and messes. Moving into the kitchen, we have number 33, which is a food mod, and it's Utopia Sims Food Texture Override, which replaces how the default EA food looks in-game, making it look a little bit more crisp and HD in my opinion. Number 34 is by Coco Games again, and it's her modern glass replacement, which changes the default glass your Sims drink out of into this much cuter, modern looking one. Number 35 is the green sponge override by Elcrest, which replaces the sponge your Sims use when cleaning surfaces and dishes. And moving into the bathroom, we have number 36 by GIGABYTE again, which is the Method All-Purpose Surface Spray Bottle Override, which changes the bottle's Sim spray when cleaning. Number 37 is another mod override replacement by Taylor, and it overrides the bathroom clutter kits become functional mod by replacing the hairdryer that mod uses into this more realistic one. Into the bedroom, we have mod number 38 by Simkatu, and it's the computer desktop override, which replaces the screen that displays by default when the Sims use the computer. And this screen actually does change depending on what your Sims are doing on their computer, like writing or browsing the web, so I definitely like it because of that. Number 39 is another computer override, and it's Ebonic Sims Computer Game Overrides, which replace the games that your Sims can play on their computer, adding a ton of different options as your Sims level up, like Fortnite, Stardew, Minecraft, all that. Number 40 is a reading override pose, and it's by Simkatu again, which just changes the animation Sims use when reading. I believe this animation also varies depending on the type of chair that your Sim is sitting in, but I really like it. I think it's super cute. Number 41 is the Black Art Painting Override by Slimma Sims, which replaces the default paintings your Sims can create with an easel and sketchpad into these cuter ones, which I definitely prefer, especially when it comes to being able to decorate my Sims' houses with their own paintings. Number 42 is a mod in early access, but it's by Play with Sid, and it's these Lush Facial Mask Overrides, which replace the default face masks that your Sims can do with the Spa Day pack into these Lush ones, which is super cute, so I'll definitely be having my Sims having a ton of self-care nights. Number 43 is by Simkatu again, and it's their singing animation override, which of course replaces the animation that the Sims use when singing on a microphone to this new, smoother looking animation. Number 44 is Steven Studios Dance Overrides 2.0, which changes the dances your Sims do in-game when listening to music. And after all that dancing, we have number 45, which is the Energy Failure Animation Override by NV Games, which changes the animation your Sims use when passing out to make it look like they're dying, but they're not dying, they're fine. And number 45 is the exact same mod, except it overrides the faint your Sims will do when they are excited to see a celebrity. Finally, we have number 46, which is the Squishmallows Override by Bella Sims, which replaces the My Sims characters your Sims can find in capsules into these cute Squishmallows that you can either keep in your Sims inventories or decorate their spaces with. Our next category of mod override is going to be baby overrides. And so first up, we have number 47, which is Sixum's Invisible Bassinet Override, which is an override that makes the default baby bassinet invisible so that you can use custom ones instead. Number 48 is the Baby Bottle Override by Coco Games, which replaces the default baby bottle the babies use when drinking. Number 49 is Build by Mode's Bye Bye Baby Rug Hider Override, which gets rid of that little rug that appears under infants because I found it a little unrealistic to have them spawn with rugs underneath them all the time. Number 50 is a brand new mod by CC Sims XO. It is currently in early access, but it's their Sippy Cup Override, which replaces the Sippy Cup toddlers use in their high chair. And finally, number 51, which is an override for Pandasama's Realistic Birth mod by Taylor, which replaces the formula, breast pump, and lactation cookies swatches to be actual brands for extra realism. Moving to our next category of mods, we have environmental overrides, and number 52 is my terrain override by Kate Hippie. I actually use all their overrides in my game, but the terrain mod specifically overrides the look of grass, trees, and plants in almost all, if not all, the Sims worlds. Number 53 is by Moriel, and it's their Cloud Override, which changes the look of the clouds in the sky to be more realistic and fluffy looking. Number 54 is by Semadically, and it's their Red Bridge Override, which changes the bridge in San Sequoia to be red like the Golden Gate Bridge, replicating San Francisco. Number 55 is a Building Override, but it's by Boy Butterfly, and it's a replacement that changes the default background houses in Newcrest to these buildings, which is nice especially if you're looking to make your own save file or use the tool mod to change the vibe of Newcrest completely. Number 56 is similar, but it's Bloom vs San Myshuno City Override, which does the exact same thing except it replaces the buildings in San Myshuno. Number 57 is for San Myshuno again, and it's Ebonix's Billboard Overrides, which replace the default billboards that appear in the city to be real-life advertisements. And finally, number 58 is by J. Renee Gaming, and it's their Del Sol Valley Billboard Overrides that do the same except for the world of Del Sol Valley. Our final category I'm just going to call University Overrides, but it's actually a pretty wide variety of overrides. And so number 59 is Alexis Ariel's HBCU Text Edit Overrides, which replace the default Brightchester Universities to be Clark Atlanta and Howard University. Number 60 is by Alexis Ariel again, and it's her University Food Cart Replacements, which replace the default food stalls with these new custom ones. Number 61 is by Basemental. It's actually a part of Basemental Drugs, but it's their Real Drink Names Override mod, which changes the in-game drink names to be the names of actual alcohol. Number 62 is Ebonix's Red Cup Juice Keg Override, which replaces the cups the Sims use when playing Juice Keg or Beer Pong to the classic red solo cups, okay? Because they're a staple. Number 63 is by Skillful Simmer, and it's their Uno Card Override, which replaces the default card games your Sims can play to look like Uno, so that your Sims can end friendships over that game just like I do in real life. And finally, number 64, which requires Basemental Drugs, but it's Taylor's Elf Bar Override, which replaces the vape your Sims can purchase with Basemental into this Elf Bar one, and it has a couple of different color options that you can pick from. And so yes, that is all 64 mods that I have gathered to share with you all here today. Again, at the time that I'm recording this, there has been a patch update that was just released, so if your game is already updated, please be patient and expect that a few of these may be broken. But overall, let me know if you guys enjoy these mod reviews, and if so, what other kinds of categories of mods would you guys like to see on the channel. As always, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, okay? Like the video and comment, all that good stuff, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys!